Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
We've been sitting at the back for quite a long time watching and expecting that things will work out. But we've come to the realization that things are not working as we expect, and our future are on the line. You see, I've been telling people that there are some of us who cannot afford to fail because we don't have backup anywhere. So once we fail, we don't only fail ourselves. But how many people in the world? So once we fail, we don't only fail ourselves, but we fail a generation. And it's something that we cannot afford to do. So for me, young people, we have a role, and we need to lead this conversation. We need to be part. Don't sit idle and say, hey, it's some people's business. Politics is your business. Whichever way you are, whether you are a driver, whether you are a mate, whether you are whoever you are a stakeholder in an enterprise called Ghana. It's to envisage the possibility of having the numbers swelling up at the tertiary level. Because
why aren't you working in government at least already?
It will be very difficult to answer that question because
is it because most government positions are not even advertised for people to apply?
That could be the case, and most importantly, I think most of the positions are also via appointment and those kind of recommendations that come from people. And if you have right people at the right places, I think you'll get that recommendation, and you can.
I want us to look at the way forward because we're coming to the end of this interview. I have to talk to you again at least 2 times this year. And let's look at the way forward for Ghana. What do you think is the biggest malady of this country? You know, when a patient comes into the hospital, they may have a headache.
Yes.
They may have a urinary tract problem. They may have a boil, but they may also have cancer. What do you think is the biggest malady of Ghana today?
I think it's indiscipline and greed.
Indiscipline and greed.
Yes.
And what do you propose as the cure for these maladies?
When Obama came to Ghana, he indicated that Africa requires strong institutions. But I've always argued that institutions are not human beings. Institutions are not kwaku kwabena.
They are corporate entities.
Yes. But you need strong men with strong conviction to be able to interface these institutions. If you go to America, the very institution that you see are interfaced by strong men with strong conviction. And they are the guardians who protect the foundations of this institution and make sure the institutional dictate work, not the discretions of individuals who are interfacing it. And that is what we need. I think we need to strengthen state institutions and make sure that they work to benefit the people, but not operating at the behest of those in power. And in recent times, I think that has been the problem. As a president can just make a decision, and that decision will virtually cow all state institutions into submission or subjugation. And when institutions are not effective and individual dictate and discretions take over, it will take you to the kind of arena we went in recent times. Everything will go wayward. So for me, we need to start by making sure we strengthen state institutions, by making sure institutional dictates and prescriptions, or rather take the center stage, make the decision for us, instead of making individuals sitting somewhere making such decisions. If we're able to put institutions in place, I think about 50% of our problems will be solved. For instance, with the recent destiny in our court, the judiciary, if people don't have trust in the judiciary because they think people sitting there are just partisan animals,
are just rubber stamps.
Yes, who are just sitting there operating at the behest of some power that be. At the end of the day, foreign investors will not come into that country because they know the judicial system is not favorable. And even they are coming, they might want any problem that arise to be adjudicated using international law. It's the reason why Ghana is suffering in recent time, because most of our treaties with some of these companies are being settled through international arbitration. So over there, if you lose and don't want to pay, you have asset there, they will seize it. You understand?
Trafigura.
Yes, exactly. They don't trust the institution. So I think we must make it an effort. In the election, President Mahama said reset. For me, that reset must begin with state institution. For I've seen a number of petitions that has been sent to him regarding the removal of Chief Justice, a whole lot of conversation. I think he should follow it through. If there are enough evidence to justify the petition the demands of the petition, it should carry on, because you see, it's about trust. It's about that kind of confidence. I've been telling people that if you see a country like an entity, the only thing that sustains is the trust and confidence people repose. At any point in time, that trust is withdrawn, that state, that entity is useless, because you need the people's trust to sustain you. But so if people don't have trust in state institutions, the police people don't trust them, the military people don't trust them, the court people don't trust them, then that country virtually will become a banana republic. A time will come, every man will become a law unto himself. So we need to start by strengthening state institutions again. People we appoint to sensitive position must be based on merit. Meritocracy should be the order of the day, should be the major criteria, because if we begin to favor people based on fraternal alliances and some kind of relationship we have with people, they go there having in mind, I'm here because I have some kind of relationship with KKD, is the reason why I'm here. So it is not about merit, it is not about my performance. So those people end up messing up. And it's the reason why in the previous administration things got worse, because the president virtually appointed his family people into sensitive position, and these people were sitting there thinking that, oh, we are here because our uncle is president. So it got to a point they were running the country like a village pharmacy shop.
How are they seen by the public now?
The reality has dawned on everybody. These people, who they really are, is out there. Now, some are needed to come and even answer for the very things that they did. They are running away. That tells you the kind of people they are. So for me, if you have done the right thing, you will be anxious to come and answer, hey, this is why I did this, that. But because he knows what he's done, he's unwilling to come over. But people are waiting, you understand? So I think we can build this country. Fortunately for us, we have all the mineral natural resources. We have the human potential, the human resources for us. What is it that we need to thrive as a country? We have the Ghanaian dream is possible.
We have the mineral and natural resources.
Yes.
But do we have adequate mental resources in leadership?
I've been telling people that you can have all the natural resources in the world. If you are not smart, if you are not intelligent, somebody intelligent will come and take it away. And that's exactly what is happening. We have all the mineral resources, but people are benefiting, are the Americans and the UKs. But we can hire these people to work for us because we have the resources. But because of some greed, some individual wanting their cart, they've handed over these things to people. Come and do it. Give me my cart, and then give the state something. Because if you look at all the
give
gold,
the state some coins, give me
exactly.
a lot, so I can use it to impoverish and subjugate more people, so I can
be
work towards the next election.
I'll be relevant. Because look at the big mining site we have in Obuasi. If you go to Obuasi, you'll be sad. The entire town is interfaced with hopelessness, desperation. Young people don't have work to do, but their very land is being destroyed. Yes, the entire town is on daily basis constantly exposed to toxic chemicals. People are dying, but they are not benefiting from these things. So how do we look at our mineral regime and say, hey, the people require some kind of help? Because the land belongs to them. We need to do these things. So we need to look at our mineral regime and do some changes just to ensure that we, the people, also benefit. We can't have all the resources. At the end of the day, we have nothing, but we are now growing. Quite recently, when we discovered lithium, those of you who are quite much aware, the world is going green. Lithium today is the new gold. People are making a lot of battery out of it. So we recently discovered it in a huge quantity. The expectation was that government will make sure we own it, and then we employ companies out there with the requisite resources to come and help us, tap into these uncharted areas to at least create job opportunities and other stuff. But once again, we handed it over to a foreign company. They should give us 10%. So you see, the playbook has always been the same, and these people doing this will definitely get their cut, and the state will suffer. So the people will continue to be impoverished, because that is a deliberate political tool, an instrument to cow people into subjugation, take away their economic freedom. You enslave them forever. On daily basis, they will be calling you honorable. People will be following you for money, and as long as that thing continues, they remain relevant. So for me, these are some of the things that we the citizens might be very conscious of, that we all have a stake in this enterprise called Ghana. It doesn't belong to any politician. It does not belong to political party. Political parties are mere vehicles that we use to capture political power. The Ghana is the ultimate thing. So we must do everything to ensure that whoever that is shortchanging this country, it doesn't matter what the person is in your political party, the person may be your uncle, as long as their deed contravenes with rules that are guiding these things, we must rise against as human beings of conscience.
You know what they say, you can teach an old dog new tricks. Let's spare those who are 70 and above. I don't think they're going to learn the new tricks now.
Yeah.
Let's look at the youth. Let's look at 15 all the way to 65 and ask ourselves, what are we willing to do differently?
Yeah.
What are we willing to insist on leadership, that this country can create employment for the young? Speaking as a young man, what are the 3 key things that you would like government to start doing immediately?
I think the major problem, as we are aware, is unemployment, and youth unemployment poses a national security crisis.
Class 91.3 FM.
It threatens our cohesion. It threatens the foundations of our democracy. If young people are idle, the devil will definitely find a job for them to do. And these are vast human potential that are going waste. Now people are going into drugs because of desperation. People are doing a whole lot of unholy stuff because there is no hope for them. You understand? So government first of all must consider creating job opportunity for young people. And that will take a lot of them out of these areas. Very often we find them, and doing so we are also building the future, and that will also have impact on the economy, because these are the workforce that is needed to build this country. So if you are able to engage them, it will translate in terms of impact on the economic fortunes of this country. Because as long as these young people continue wallowing in a pool of hopelessness, doing nothing, the economy will suffer. Because they are the very people you need to impact positively on this.
Be afraid of a hopeless man, for he has nothing to lose.
Exactly, nothing to lose. Like a cannon fodder, they will do everything to survive. That's exactly what played out in the Middle East when you mentioned Bouazizi. When his item was seized, he felt like there is nothing for me. So he set himself ablaze, and that triggered a wave of violent, that's the revolution that we saw. That is the Jasmine revolution. They didn't just end in how do you call it, Tunisia. It triggered a wave in the entire Middle East and then North Africa. So that is the impact and the consequences of youth unemployment. If you are a government, you begin to sit idle and do nothing about it.
So the thinkers in government must ask themselves, what can we do to let youth employment increase in this country?
Just for the benefit, just to stay relevant. But it should be the reverse, because once young people are engaged, I think the country will grow, because the whole essence of you taking over leadership is to grow the economy, have people have decent life. And when you have a workforce, you are not engaging them, then it means it's just some kind of an individual adventure that you are embarking on just to make money, and then you get away with it. You understand?
3 points. You've said 1 point. Number 2.
So, and also, I think we need to take education to a different level, because you see, to have a workforce that will deliver on whatever that you need to have them trained, the skills, equip them with the requisite skills that are needed to face the world that is coming. Because if you look at the world out there, there are a lot of things people are doing just to reposition themselves, their citizens, to take advantage, because the world is a competitive world. I think we are lagging even in terms of our education. There is a huge gap between academia and the job market. How do we bridge it so people from academia will be able to transition so easily into the job market and find something to do? So I think we must also focus on education, because young people need education to be relevant, to be able to become socially agile, to be able to make contribution to whatever we do. Without it,
number 3. Time running out. Number 3.
Yes, I think we must also tone down on the excesses and the impunity when it comes to corruption, because young people are watching and they are learning. There are people who think that that is the way of life, that is politics for us. So if we begin to punish crime in this country, we make corruption a high risk venture that people might not feel comfortable going. Places like China, how dare you go take government money? because you know the consequences are so overbearing that
suicide.
It will go beyond you.
Suicide.
You
for you and your children.
Exactly. And the entire generation. So everybody is careful not to go into that area. I think that is some of the such examples might be set here, so that those of us growing up as young people, we will not join the political bandwagon with the intention of going to make money for ourselves, but rather to help build the state. And for me, the Ghana will grow again.
Thank you very much. My special guest on Master of the Game, the program that brings you the movers, shakers, icons, and legends of our beloved motherland, Ghana, is Ivan Che Innocent.
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, I PENDREAM TV.